Okay guys, so the Megazord has been finished, but there's still something left to do, and that's to build the base. I have nowhere to put the base, but on the other hand, it's actually going to take up less space if I build it and then put it away somewhere. Which sounds completely wrong, but I just don't have the space to use the base. So we're going to build, which is why it's a slightly different angle, because I'm going to be doing this. So I'm going to put this together. We have lots of screws, and let's just hope there's enough space here, because if there isn't, I'm not actually sure where I'm going to build this. So put them together. You've got notches here and here, and they will just sit on very nicely. Put the plate down over here and then get those screws in. And when I say there's a lot of screws, for the first two stages, which is what I've got here, there's 12 screws just for this first part and another 24 for the next part, meaning just to put this base together is 36 screws. Which is a little bit nuts. Anyway, that's the first one in. So let's move these screws over here, because now I've got to get it into these holes, another plate, and get these screws in as well. And then once you've got those on, you get to put on a whole load of screws. Is that right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is all that step one is. So this would have come in very early on in the part work. And of course now it's time for all the screws in part two, which is basically putting all the rest of this on, and all them, and all them. Fun times. I think I may put this in upside down. So if I flip this round, oh, look at that. It actually fits all the holes. Okay, so there we are. The whole thing all secure. That's where the spare screw was. I was wondering where that went. Let's see. Nice flat base with a big hole in it. We've made a donut. However, that is where pack 3 comes in. Where we've got a bunch of these pieces, and all these. And lo and behold, more screws. Some with flat tops, some with rounded tops. Now, I'm only doing these instructions loosely, so looks like we want the short one. Is that the only short one? Just making sure it's the only short one, which I think it is. Yep. And that will come on here like so. That's going to get screwed into place. Next we'll take this and let's see, the cable will come through here and this will sit sideways on. Yes, sideways on. Takes double A's. Was it triple A? Double A? 4 double A's. Well, I wonder if I've even got any of them. We want the P307s. Okay, so that will then give me that much cable. Okay. P306 screws. Just going to come in like so. Oh, that fits in nicely. I wonder if it actually matters which way round this is. Everything seems to be mirrored as it goes round, so it shouldn't make any difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, that should be the other screws. Okay. Just double checking which screws I've actually got to put in. But going all the way around, I'm going to put this in here. Okay. This should then go in that bit with the P308s. P308 would be those ones. Okay. So from the first bag, so we'll flip this over. And that goes in that side. So we've got a little hook here, that'll come in this side. Which means this will then hopefully fit over the screw hole. And I put my screw way too close to the screw, so now it's covered in them. Get off. And while it is upside down, I'm just going to take these, put them underneath. Right, and that's it for the first 3 stages. I'm going to rest my hand for a bit. I'll be back with part 2. Okay, and I'm back. My thumb is still a bit sore, but hey. Now you can always tell which one it is if this actually decides to focus. Come on, focus, focus. Do you want to focus at all? No, you don't. But look at the barcodes. It always ends in 50 well, 5 something. Be it 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, no, 05, and 08. Why have I got 08? '09. Aha. 06. So I got 4, 5 and 6 here. As I said, you can always tell by looking on the barcode for the number. So let's see what the next bit is. It's going to be sticky stuff and a chip by the looks of it. It's going to come here and that will plug in there. We want the P404 battery screws. Where's the screws gone? Here. Okay, so we screw it in. Okay. Connect the terminal of the battery holder wire to the light. Yeah, to bat. Yep. So that's going to go in there, as I said. Alright, nice little click. Alright, and very carefully picks the... I've already done that. Alright, B. Place one of the infrared light PCBs. Alright, there's two of them, yeah. On the two pivots of section P201. What?
A few moments later.
So with this over this side, if I just take the cable side off, we're going to put one over here, and that'll be plugged in there, and then we'll put the other one over here so that you can use the remote control wherever you want to turn it on and off. Okay, so the screws are here, so let's get these screwed in. Alright, so now oh boy, I hate doing this. I've done this on both my display cabinets. I should be alright at this, but the next stage is to take this LED stripping. So if I plug that in there, at least it'll keep that end in one place. Right. I'm then going to need to take off all the blue backing to then glue this, well, stick it all the way around. So okay, and that's made it all the way around. It's all plugged in, and if I had any batteries I could test it, but I can't, so that's going to be interesting later on. So going on for stage 5. Oh, do I actually get rid of this for the moment? And we have two of these which will slot together nicely, I hope. Come on. Oh, okay, there we go. That's slotted together, and we want 2 screws to hold them together. Well, that's a complicated stage, isn't it? Which goes into these bigger bits. And then stage 6 will be doing the same again and connecting it onto that piece. Okay, so let's put this bit together first. Try and keep the pieces smaller so it's slightly easier to work with. Come on, get in there. There we go. So this should have, yeah, this has more screws because it's going to connect onto the other one. And let's grab number 7. Which will be even more screws because it's going to do this onto this, and then under there and over here. Come on. There we go. All together, and we'll get the screws out and put all that together. Okay, so that's pieces, what, 5, 6 and 7, making up the top. Feels very flimsy, but obviously it is going to have, going around, those supports. So yeah, at least that should be helping keep it together. And just checking, yep, these will screw in there, so it's going to be supported in the middle. There's going to be the mini one in the center, which is going to support the disc. So yeah, well, that's the end of part 2. I'll see you in part 3. Okay, and here we are with part 3, starting with pack 8. And it's actually the next morning. Different coloured t-shirt, a nice blister developing on the inside of my thumb. I actually went through the instructions of this pack, of the instructions for this base, and I think it was something like 125 of these tiny little screws that have to be done to make this base. Right, so I want clippers. So I've been trying to start putting stuff away because like the main build is done, and then it's like, oh no, wait, I need stuff to build the base. So we have a load of these, and we have these, which are all on sprues. Yay. And it is literally going to be like this. Each one of these is going to need, oh, is that actually a spare sprue? Well, 6, 12, 18, 36. Oh, I've actually got spare sprues. Nice, spare washers. Right. So let's start with the one closest. Need to slide this out of the plastic. And that will go here. In fact, let's put them all into place. If I can get the plastic out of the way early on, then that just means the plastic's out of the way, I guess. Oh, maybe it wasn't a spare one. I think that was screws. Okay, so I'm an idiot. It was actually screws that went over. Look at the amount of screws in this. So this is going to come, that each one of these is going to go over these pegs that the white bits have slotted onto. And I've just lost one. That one has literally kamikazed itself off the desk, off my bed, off my chair, onto the floor somewhere. Okay, I honestly have no clue where that washer has gone. So I'm going to have to look for that when I finish this stage. So this video is going to be in 4 parts. I'll just move one of those ones just. Okay, so that's all those screws put in, except for the last one, which goes where the missing washer is. I have hunted, I've moved stuff, I've shaken stuff, and yeah, that washer has disappeared like a TARDIS. It's just gone. So the screw alone will stop it from coming out. It just goes in a little bit, so not ideal, but not the end of the world. And if I can figure out where I put my super glue, I might even be able to put a few bits in. Right, give it that last screw. I'll put everything in the middle here. Okay. Alright, so you want to put this side into this part of the ring. Have we got 3 types of... Yeah, we have got 3 types of screws. Bloody hell. Which takes a PWO3, which is... Oh, that's nice. We have 6 of everything.
A few moments later.
Actually, okay, if you zoom in a lot, okay, PWB, yeah, it's the one with the wider heads. The PB and the KB, one's flat, one's slightly sloped. Right, so okay. Well, look, you can see the thumb is going black here from the rubber that's wearing off. If I take this glove off, I don't know if you can see how red the thumb is. And I swear there's a blister coming up just around there somewhere. Right, now to take all these out. Can I do it in one? Yes, I did it all in one go. Haha! I am invincible. Well, I'm not. I lost that bloody washer, but you know. Okay, so now all of these, the big holes going into the top, which is the bottom. Oh, and they need to slide in. Oh yeah, those big holes go over where the washers are, so yes, they will slide in behind these bits. Hey, that was a spare screw. I don't need that. Please tell me I don't need that. Okay, so that's that, and oh god. Alright, now I need the rest of it. I need to get this up, bring the base in, flip this over, and somehow figure out how to line this up so this is all going to fit in the right place. Oh, I spin this right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, round, 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 round. Okay. Okay. So that's on. I want to put my glove back on, because where those supports are, I want to put in the PB screws. So flat ones are here. Problem is, I'm not actually going to be able to put the instructions on screen with this video, as you probably noticed at this point, because I've got no way of actually getting the images. Okay, and we've got to flip the whole thing over and put the other screws all around, yeah, all around the ring base. So let's do these, the last 6 screws of the entire build. Okay, so that's that. We have some bits here, which is literally a case of put them around the base here. Should be 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, yep. So I'll put 1 here. I'll put 1 here. And the last one can go up the back there and go here. I then need to take the other side of this off, which is always easier said than done. There we go, that's 1. That's 2. Make sure it's pushed down properly. And here comes the 3rd one. And now finally, so I move it from the bag, the grand reveal. There we go. One big old light up base complete. It'll illuminate at the sides, but sadly not on this logo, which looks absolutely brilliant. And part of me is wondering if there's a way I can just display this on the wall somewhere, because yeah, this is actually pretty damn cool. I do like this. It's got a fair bit of weight to it, and of course pushing down hard as I can. Camera shaking, table shaking. That thing is going to be able to put up with some weight, which it needs to, should it ever actually be used to display that Megazord. Okay guys, well it's been a hell of a year. It really has. From building that Megazord and finishing off with this base, I've never done a build like this before. I'd quite like to do it again, but I don't know if I could do it with Fanhome again. From the months of hearing nothing from them, I mean, to give them their dues, when things go wrong, they will send you the stuff out. So if you're missing pieces, if something's wrong with it, they will sort it. It just takes a while. But But communication from Fanhome is seriously lacking. The replacement saber-tooth tiger heads, if you guys remember, this head is the wrong colour, and they said they'd send out a replacement head, which they did about 3 months later than they said they would, at which point I had most of the saber-tooth tiger waiting to be built. Just general delays as well, you know, months without getting a single package after like the first two, I think it was, and then just nothing, or might have even just been the first one. And then of course when they were obviously trying to catch up, I think it was packs 4 and 5, I paid for within about 5 minutes of each other, which was fine. I'd made sure I'd saved up the money, because we're talking £125 a pack, but that's 250 quid going out in the space of 5 minutes, which, you know, that's not exactly an insubstantial amount of money. So I'm glad I spent the year making sure I had enough for where the pack should be. So this is all finished a month late, but from what I'm hearing, that's actually pretty good for Fanhome, because there are people who are waiting months and having issues with the Infinity Gauntlet, Iron Spider, Optimus Prime, Robocop, just so many partworks that people are having issues with. And now, like, Fanhome going, hey, like, you know, next partwork, if you sign up by May, you can have free postage and packing. I think I'll pass. I'm happy with this. I absolutely love the base. Bit of dust. Yeah, I love the design on this base. Yeah, put the saber-tooth tiger up there. I almost wish I could have had, like, spares for each of the heads. Although, saying that, this will make a really nice paperweight. The fangs are loose because I did try to remove them, but yeah, super glue stuck, so. But yeah, this is all done at last. I'm getting kind of emotional. Well, I suppose it's not done yet. I've got to edit all these videos. But hey, we've still got Sensei until February. Damn. We've still got old Sensei. I'll see you then.